for 5 to 10% down and then collecting the spread. If you can get that 15 to 20% spread, there's just a lot more meat on the bone. You're beating the bank.
Yeah. And I'm just a big fan of finding out the story. And I think it's because of my background in television. I like to find out the story. What's going on? Like, why are they moving? I get really close to the people I buy from. So I've got a guy in Michigan that it was Christmas time and he was going to lose his house that day. And so I brought everything up
My
to date.
God.
But I didn't do it just blindly. I talked to him, and I talked to his realtor, was a friend of his. The realtor said, "Hey, just pay me $1. I just want to make sure he's representation." So the realtor backed away and didn't charge anything for the transaction. He was behind $11,000, so not a ton.
Oh my God.
It wasn't enough to lose his house. And so we talked, and he said, I bought this food truck, and it's, I forgot that in the wintertime, nobody's going to come to a food truck because it's so cold. And he's like, I'm just trying to figure it all out. But, as soon as summer comes, I'll be better. So I gave him a reduced rent for a few months and said, get on your feet. Let's get this done. I couldn't see him leaving his home around Christmas time. It was just, that's the bottom line. He had 2 kids. And so the story matters more to me than anything. And so now he's great. He keeps in contact with me. We talk a lot. He found some restaurants that are for sale that he might want to put his barbecue restaurant into. And I might invest in it. So it's not just the deal you're doing, and it's the relationships, and you're making friends with these people, and you're talking to them, and you're getting to know who they are and why they're in the position they are, and you're solving problems. It's awesome. I love that part of it.
That is. Yeah, that is. And that's also how you build your reputation and your name, is you build the relationships with the people, like you said. And a lot of people, they think they're in this just for a quick transaction or quick money. And
Right.
you're really building a name and a legacy for yourself, and that matters.
That's everything. I think I think the education of Hold My Hand Wholesale is amazing. I don't want you guys to miss out on that. I still promote it. I still believe in it. I think the network there is huge. I believe in it 100%. I don't think I'll ever not believe in it. But I want to make sure you guys are getting on the phone more, and it's not just running numbers. That's my biggest, it drives me nuts. Find the story and make the relationships.
I
Good
agree,
stuff,
man,
Joe.
100%. Hey, thank you for having me up, man. I really enjoyed our talk.
No, me too. Thank you so much for coming around.
Absolutely. God bless you.
All righty, buddy. Take care. Okay, so Rudy's asking, for the Atlas, there's a promo code, or do you just sign up? Okay, so for the Atlas, it's you just get on, and then I think we put it down there for you. And then there's a promo code for 7 days free on Wholesale Atlas, just so they're not confused. Yeah, generates a contract too. You're good. You're giving me. Let's do it. I'll just go to a generic one at the very bottom. It generates an email for you, so you've got the email. Super simple. I didn't even cover this, and it's amazing. You can get a contract, and so you just download the contract here. This gives you a video telling you what to fill out and how to fill it out. You download the contract, goes up, but you'll have that contract, and it's just a copy and fill it in, and then you can submit the contract. So I haven't done this part, but I think this is what submits to the Atlas. Oh yeah, exactly. So that puts you right to the Atlas, and this is where you can sell your deal. Also, you can JV with me, and I've got a whole team, and we can help you sell your deal too. So either way, these are mostly, the Atlas is, I think, primarily for seller finance deals. So that's where you're going to be able to sell your seller finance deals. Okay. But again, let's see what else we got. Credibility. Let's see. Go over a hybrid. Yeah, you know what, Eli? Let's do that real quick. So let me find one that suggests hybrid. what I like is, because I hate hybrids. I think they're a pain, but I've gotten to know a little bit better about them because of Atlas. So here's the deal. It doesn't matter what it is. Here's what they suggest for a hybrid. So the deal with a hybrid is you have to pay, you're going to take their mortgage and you're going to give them a little bit of money for their equity, and usually not too much. Like, you don't want to go bananas. So here's the loan history. Again, on this one, it's not a deal. We can tell that right off the bat because they're saying it's not really a deal. So let's see. So to make it a deal, the offer price would be, they're asking, okay, with a down payment of 5%. So all along the seller finance route here, they're getting $3,600 a month. So what I would do is, I would take that $3,600 a month divided by 4, because we want to keep 75% of the rent. So let's call it 3,700. So we'll go 3,700 divided by 4. So 925 is what our monthly rent is. I got a hair in my mouth. So what we're going to do is, now that we see, well, see, this is why this one's not a deal. So 970 or 925 is what I would pay them monthly. Okay. But we're also paying up here. We're paying the mortgage payment of 1526. So that 925 needs to be all inclusive with that 1526. So you'll see it cash flows negative. We knew that was going to happen in this, even without an assignment fee. It's still horrible cash flow. But that's why some deals are just not deals, and this is one. So it's really important to know when to walk away from something, because I don't want to pay 13. Let's say this number, just hypothetically, was $700 a month for their mortgage. Then we would make up the difference of that 700 and pay them 225. Okay, so that would make that the price that we want to pay. And so in this situation, this is, again, not really a deal. But we want our part to be 225 on, if it was if it was a $700 a month, if our mortgage payment was 700. I know I'm probably making this way more confusing because this isn't a deal. Let me pick one that's good. But does that make a little bit more sense or no? Let's see, who was asking. I don't know about calling today. Give it a shot, but I think you'll get shut down pretty quick. Let's see. Looking. Who was talking to me about the here? Pop up on stage if you were, just because I hate reading the things and trying to figure out. So let's get you up on stage. So that was a terrible hybrid example. I apologize. But I hope I explained, like, our whole point is we have to get, it's basically doing seller finance, and we have to subtract the mortgage payment from what we're going to pay them. Does that make sense? Okay, Marcus, what's going on? I'm not hearing you, just so you know. You're not on mute, but I'll let you figure out your stuff, and then I'll pull up Andrew real quick. Andrew, what's going on?
Hey, Trent, how you doing?
Good. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, not much. Just doing what you're saying, just calling and calling. Had a few questions about when you're calling. Yeah, I was wondering if you have any tips on, because you don't have much time sometimes with some people. You can feel they're a little antsy in the beginning. I still ask them, is this a good time to talk, just to get that out of the way. But then as far as choosing your words wisely on how to get deeper into their motivation.
Okay, so here's the deal. You got to step into their shoes a little bit, okay? They're getting a ton of calls from wholesalers that are just hammering them. They're not being polite. They're not being conscious. They're being very robotic. Like, even asking, "Hey, is this a good time to talk?" is a very, hi, I'm a wholesaler. I'm
Yeah.
very bothered. Because if I'm just a home buyer, I'm like, hey, I saw this, I just go right into it. Hey, I saw your your listing on Utah Street. Can you tell me a little bit more about it that I'm not seeing on Zillow? That's what I say. So I go right into it. I don't waste their time with the pleasantries that are fake.
Yeah,
Because
that
the
I'm
fake ones are terrible.
I'm gonna sound very like, is this a good time? You sound so like not even real in the beginning. Yeah, just jumping right into what you're calling about.
Have you ever gone to buy a car,
Yes.
okay, and you want to vomit because the salesman is just kissing your butt?
Yeah. Yep.
Don't do that.
Right.
Like, don't. That's
So
not what we want to do.
that's my next question, Trent. I want to embrace more in the idea that I'm the buyer, because I feel so much when I'm talking to them, I'm just focusing on getting the contract signed. And I'm like, I'm the
No,
buyer.
you're not. You're not focused on the first phone call. You are not focused on getting the contract signed. Okay. First and foremost, your first phone call is a fact finding mission. All you're trying to do is find out facts. The main fact you're going to try to find out, and they don't want to tell you, is why they're selling, because they know that that puts the ball in your court and then you're in charge. And so they don't want to tell you about it. They'll keep that under wraps the best they can. Okay. So it's a fact finding mission. Hey, I use, and this is true. Hey, I'm a new investor. This is all new to me. I got some money and I want to invest. This isn't particularly going to be my primary home, but I want to make it a home that, hey, if I end up Airbnb-ing it, that I can visit. And if you're in Florida or if you're in a vacation spot, you can use that tactic. Or you're just like, hey, I really want to learn how to do lease to owns, and so I was going to buy a house and see if I can lease to, put it out to somebody that can't qualify.
Yeah.
They're all truths. Like, the less we lie, because Richard teaches kind of like to get credibility and say you're an underwriter, and most people don't even remember what an underwriter is, and they forget the term underwriter when they're saying they are an underwriter. I come from, like, I did a lot of television sports, and we would interview athletes, and athletes would use big words that didn't mean what they thought they meant to sound smarter, but in turn it made them sound dumber.
Exactly.
So that's what's going on with us. If we go in with any kind of like terms or anything, the more genuine you are, the more believable you are. Because a lot of times you'll act like you know what you're talking about, and then you'll throw in, a term that has nothing to do with what you're doing. It's just because it's the term and you're trying to build your credibility. Don't do that. Stop doing that. Just be honest as you possibly can be.
Which should be the simplest way to go.
100%. You don't have to try to guess and
Right.
make up things and come back around and, did I say this? Did I say that? No, just be. And I can develop rapport with a realtor in seconds. The greatest thing that you could have is a dog bark in the background. You're like, oh, you got a dog? Oh, what kind of dog? Talk about your dog. We're going to talk to. I have a lender that, and he's become a really, really good friend of mine who helped me with my building to refinance it. We started talking about his dog, and he had 2 Doberman Pinschers. And the next day, tragically, one of them died.
Oh.
And he was so kind of in need of somebody just to talk to that we stayed on the phone for like 35, 40 minutes. And he just talked about his dog and how sad he was and was really emotional. And we connected huge. It was all unintentional. I wasn't trying to connect with the guy. It just happened.
Yep.
But when those things happen, you're like, well, I want to make sure I'm there for somebody else down the road. It just feels good. So the more you be human with people and less of a car salesman, then you're in.
Okay.
And you've done it with me, Andrew. You and I already have a rapport. I don't know you, but we've built up a rapport. You've sent me a lot of DMs. You've reached out. You've made an effort. You became noticeable. And so that's all we have to do. And that's all you have to do in life is
Mm-hmm.
be memorable, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
So that's kind of the simple. And I absolutely love the whole mindset and motivation and all that stuff, talking to people and using different techniques. A great way, and this is something you can use at a party, but it's when you talk to somebody, you ask them where they're from originally. Don't ask them where they're from right now. Just, hey, where are you from originally? It opens up the world to more questions and more
Uh,
answers. And so even with a real, I mean, I'll do it with anybody that has an accent. I'm like, hey, I hear an accent. Where are you from? And they'll be
mm,
like, oh, you noticed that? And I'm like, yeah, but I mean, your English is excellent, but tell me what's going on. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from da da da. And you draw those parallels with people. I mean, let's just be human. It's
yeah.
really the big part of this whole thing.
Yeah. I think that's it. Everybody gets caught up in trying to be something they're not, and it just goes bad. And you're, what happened? Well, you weren't being you.
Exactly, 100%. And I can sniff it out a mile away.
Yeah. Most
I see
people,
it in here
they
too.
they're afraid of themselves. They're like, they're not gonna like me. I gotta seem like, super cool, super on top of it. And you're like, is that really you? And they're like, well, not really. Then why try to be that? Yeah, you're not gonna keep. You're gonna fall. Or you're gonna look dumb. Yeah. They're gonna sniff it out.
When I see it in here too, I'll talk to students that I'm like, they'll be like, well, I've got a team doing blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, you just asked me an elementary question and you're telling me you have a team? Like, come on, bro. I know what's up. Don't do that because I'm sniffing it out and it makes me not like you. And I
Right.
want you to be likable. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
like, no, the more you fall on a sword with me and more show me your belly, the better I'm going to respond because I want to help you out. But if you
Mm-hmm.
come in and act like you know better, I'm like, great, go know better. Have fun.
Right.
I'm not
Right.
okay.
Okay. I got you. Let me ask you real quick. Also,
Yeah,
I've made about 35 calls since we last spoke. And how do you
great.
stay organized?
Okay, Wholesale Atlas can help you
Just
there.
just
Big
the
time.
notes, right?
Yeah, that's everything. Simple, 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 simple. So
True.
now when you get these, you find that the one you want, heart it, and then write in your notes like,
That's
okay,
I don't know why.
and
Mhm.
do anything you can to be memorable. That's the key to the entire thing. With my production company, I worked for ESPN, and my last name's Cameraman, and so off the bat, like I became semi-famous at ESPN just because of my name. Um, but I also every time we had a major event, I would bring 500 T-shirts, and I'd give them to everybody.
Mm.
And so every single person, this was back in the day when there wasn't social media, but every single person has to wash that shirt. Every time they wash their shirt, my name is in their brain.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so it's really your success will come when you're memorable and when people have a reason to call you because they heard about something. Again, the same guy with the Doberman, great guy, called me and he said, "Hey, I want you to go check out this building. I want to fund you for it. It's a $12 million building." And I'm like, "Bro, I don't have 12 million." He's like, "Don't worry about the money. I'll take care of it. I need your help on this."
Mm.
It's in the Gaslamp district of San Diego. Go down and check it out. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I have nothing to lose. I went down. The place had been there was a fire in the restaurant on the bottom floor that affected 38 different units in the building. Online, it's beautiful. In person, it was gutted, fire
Wow.
damage, water damage. It was a mess. And so I came back and I don't know his relationship with the property, but I think he was the lender on it. And I'm like, that is not worth 12 million. I said, if it's worth 2 million, I'd be shocked.
Mm.
He's like, what? And I sent him a bunch of pictures and all that stuff. But that's a case of he remembered me from something we talked about. And he's like, I know you're an hour away from San Diego. And he offered me something, This one didn't work out. It might down the road, but I mean, I would never buy it because it was hammered. And it's kind of in a bad area. The Gaslamp district of San Diego used to be really cool, but now it's overrun with homeless.
Oh wow.
But the whole point is he thought of me after a conversation we had. You know what I mean? Instead
Yeah.
of just moving on. And so it's
Top of,
building those relationships is huge.
yeah.
So
Keeping
when
top
you
of
keep your notes, do something in your notes that says, oh, this was the guy and he had Dobermans, or, this woman likes, had to get off the phone fast because she was, going to her daughter's, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just triggers your mind to say something about that. Like, hey, how was the recital? Last time we talked, you were going to your daughter's recital. Everything good? How'd she do?
Yeah, and right now, just on a call, one lady, she had dental mouth surgery. So when I called her, left a message, she texted me and said, "Can't talk. What's up?" And I said, "It was an agent. I'm looking at a property. I submitted it to you guys too." And then she said, "Just send me proof of funds. You guys send me the proof of funds." So I sent it to her, and then she said, "Okay, I'll make up the offer." And you guys, I submitted it to you guys, and you guys are looking at it right now. But just the idea that when she returned it, everything, I started everything with, "Are you feeling better?" or something like that. And she was returning phone calls real fast. So yeah, just kind of.
That's everything. Give them a reason to like you. But you're not an agent, just FYI. Don't ever say you're an agent.
Oh no, I didn't say I was. No, she was an agent.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No. Like, never.
Okay,
You're all it up. Yeah. Okay, great. And then how do you feel? I also have a guy that I met, and then he has a couple of properties already under contract. He's a wholesaler, and he's just looking for a buyer. Should I go forth with that or nah?
Oh, daisy chaining. It's not something that's super great because he's not going to share his entire. I mean, you're not going to make the full assignment fee with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be getting. So what I do is I like to right off the bat say, "Hey, what are you offering as an assignment fee if I find you a buyer?" So right out of the gate, like exactly what you're getting. So
okay, I'll do that because yeah. This seems like something I don't want to just throw it away, but yeah, I'll make that clear first.
Get to know him, be friends with him, see if he's trustworthy. There's never anything bad about having a new friend.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you, Trent. Have a great memorial. Thanks for coming on today.
All right, bro. Take it easy.
All right. You too, pal.
Okay. See ya. All right, Marcus. I understand you has money.
Is this thing working?
It's working.
Cool. Hey,
Right,
well, I forgot. I've been fighting with my damn camera, unplugging things and plugging them back in. I forgot my question.
I have no idea why I'm here. Let's see. Maybe did you put it in the chat? I'll double check and see.
No. I had a question about the Atlas. I saw you showing that a minute ago, and I went to it.
Yeah.
I forgot all about it. I guess can you go in there and just share your screen, pull up any property that's subject
absolutely.
to? I have a question about one of the boxes.
Yeah, absolutely. Make a selection. Share this window. Okay, you want to sub to one?
I have a question. Yeah, just pick any subject to property. If it doesn't come up the way mine looks, then I'll just give you the address on the one I'm looking at.
Here we go. This one's subject to.
All right, let's scroll down. Come on.
I love when we do this and I end up finding something I like. This, I have another house in this area, so I just put it in just for fun. Okay, so.
Oh, no. The Atlas, not the wholesale Atlas.
Oh, just the Atlas. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't have to yell at me. Hold on. Okay,
sometimes my mic is too loud, and sometimes my.
Oh, I'm kidding. I'm just teasing.
Camera just says nope.
Let's see. Subject to seller. You want a subject to, right?
Yeah. My wife says I talk too low.
Okay, here we go. Subject to.
So scroll to the deal terms. Okay, so I'm a little confused as to monthly payment 1810, P&I 1505. What's the difference of those two? I get that the P&I is the payment for that. The payment.
So this is the monthly payment to
seller.
The seller.
I mean to the mortgage company.
See, that's the thing. I honestly, okay, so payment up here is 550, 1550. So here's what your entry fee is 11%. Let me just see this. I honestly haven't played with this yet, so bear with me. Down payment's 40,000. Payment is 50. Okay, so Oh, here, it's just doing comparisons, right?
Right.
But up here, monthly payment. I don't know. Purchase price, monthly payment. You got me. You got me on this one. I'm not sure because
Well, I guess I could always just contact the seller and see what they mean by that.
no, but I mean your P&I is it must be with this is your monthly payment after P&I. So this is just principal and interest, and this is insurance added and taxes. That's got to be what it is, because that would
makes
make sense. That
Yeah,
would only
'cause
be
that
about
makes-
300. Here's what we'll do. Let's see. Let's go backwards here and see if this works. Let's see what it looks like in the Atlas. See if it gives us. Oh, it's not gonna. Yeah, it's off market, so it's not gonna let us look at it. But yeah, so that's got to be what it is. Yeah, so that's your full payment, and this is your P&I.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, I was just wondering how that worked.
Yeah, I think that's because usually you can see what the payment is on the. I'm gonna try something else here real quick. Let me just see if this works. Yeah, you can sometimes see your payment on. See if there's any others, because that'll give us a better idea of what their taxes and insurance is. Oh, boo. Okay, yeah, there isn't. Yeah, but that's what that is. I'm sure of it. That's just adding another $305 for taxes and insurance, because this is just P&I.
Okay.
So that's your total monthly payment is the $1,800.
Okay. No,
Does it say
that makes
rents
sense.
are
I'm
here?
wondering.
It's weird it doesn't say the rents. Usually it says rents too, I would think. Huh. Let's see if it says rents.
Probably because that looked like a commercial property and rents wouldn't be.
Oh, what is it? Is it commercial? Okay, we just grabbed something. This one, let's see, where's. Yeah, it's not showing. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, but as far as that payment, 100%, it's I'm super confident that that's the payment. Well, it even says here, fixed monthly payment to the seller, which includes principal and interest. The amount stays consistent throughout the time of the loan, making the budgeting. So that is your payment to the seller, but it's a sub 2. So there is no, there's a payment to the mortgage. It's interesting. I'll talk to Vidouche or one of his guys and ask him just to get some clarity on that, and just let him know it's kind of confusing. Because everything else they do is so simple and it makes it so easy.
Yeah, it's really user friendly.
Oh my gosh, it's great. Hey, Rubes, it says could also be what's found somewhere for future reference. What does this one say? I'm trying to get to the Hey, I know that a lot of times they say worry about your area code, and that you have to kind of be calling from a local area code. I don't think that's a thing anymore, just because we all have cell phones and we move around. So don't worry too much about that. Does that help at all, Marcus?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure that there was a taxes. But yeah, if you find out from a douche, just
Yeah,
let
I always write down little questions I have for them, and I just text them over and just see. Is this a commercial
I got
property?
a friend of mine here in Houston. He's trying to get into the rental business, and I said, well, I can actually help you with that. And so I told him about all these sub 2 houses, and then he's like, well, I don't have the money for that. I said, well, I can get you the money for that too. So that's why I'm kind of looking to seeing, what these are, the payments are, and all that stuff. That's why you see the website with my name pop up, because I actually do funding for transactional lending, buying houses now, all that gator stuff.
Okay, so now with somebody like who was it that was in here earlier that wants to get 5 properties before 2030, like how can you help some of these students that really literally have nothing to put down, no skin in the game? Is that even a possibility?
Yeah, so basically, depending on what they need, if they need to do EMD money, then they just go to the website and click a couple of buttons, fill out a form, and it puts all their information. And then basically what usually the rates are, like if it's a 3,000, it's 40% of whatever the EMD is. So if they're looking for a $3,000 EMD, the return on that's gonna be 40%. So they're gonna be paying back 4,200, and if you're making, 10, 15,000 on the closing, well, it's not too bad considering you didn't have any money. If you're doing a double close, like some of these states where you can't actually wholesale more than one deal a year, well, you can actually get the funding for a double close. And usually what we do is wire the money to the title company after the buyer sends their money in, so that way it's kind of set, that we're gonna get our money back. And usually something like that is 2% or 2 points, depending on who you work with. But it's all.
Do me a favor. Put your site in the. I always want to promote everybody that's in here that has something to offer.
Okay.
Hey,
Cool.
Marilyn, if you can save that and save the one that we did earlier too. I want to put those in our software tab, so that way when people need to get them. Marcus, do me a favor, just write up a little blurb about what you offer. Send it to me, DM it to me, and I'll put the marcushasmoney.com into our softwares area, so people can get a hold of it.
That works.
Yeah, I figure that. I mean, that's the whole point, is we got to help each other out. So
yeah, and it's a big deal because if you don't have any money to start this, and you've got, I mean, sometimes you can do the EMD after inspection, and people are mostly cool with that. But you've got, sometimes I've run across some of these agents, and the sellers, they just was like, no, well, no, I don't think you're serious, and blah 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 and all this stuff.
Right. You guarantee the EMD, but what if it's lost? What do you do there? Like, what if it is?
Well, we make sure that if it gets to the point, like, let's say it's coming to 10 days inspection, and the seller hasn't found the buyer, then we make sure that at 2 days, usually before it's lost, because we put in the contract that we have the right to cancel the transaction.
Perfect. Good.
And
Okay.
we just
So
get
there's
everybody
a
to agree to that. Yeah. And so
yeah, because a lot of people in here might get scattered, might have another job, might forget, like, oh shoot, I was supposed to do that.
Oh yeah, no, it's, you got somebody watching over your shoulder, making sure that doesn't happen.
Great.
So it's
That's
not
really
up to the responsibility of somebody that they forget, like you said, whatever, and then we'll cancel it through the title.
perfect. I love that. All right, Marcus, anything else?
No, that was it. I was just wondering about that on the Atlas.
Yeah,
Film.
I think that's it. I think I'm pretty sure that's right, and I'll talk to him about making it a little bit more clear.
Okay.
All righty, bud. Take it easy.
Yes, sir. You too.
Mr. Golem.
Hey, Trent, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Not too bad. So a couple things. One, someone had mentioned that you can send out a contract automated through Wholesale Atlas. So I'd love to see if that's true. I'd love to see how that works.
Yep,
and then
absolutely. Let's do it.
second part, wanted to kind of have a open dialogue about some of the authenticity conversations and feedback that you were giving. I think I have a different perspective that could work for some people. So
yeah, tell me what you're thinking.
I guess let's do the Atlas thing first, and then.
Okay. So in the Wholesale Atlas, at the very bottom, when you analyze a lead, you go to the very bottom and you can get a contract here. So you can get your contract. You just click this and then download the contract template. It'll give you a little video to show you how to do it and everything. Let me put this somewhere. Hold on. So, and then the contract just, it looks just like this. It's copy and pasted into your Google Sheet or your Google, you know what I'm saying, a Google Doc. So copy and paste the whole thing because this isn't fill outable unless you, I mean, so when you want to fill things out, it'll have to be a copy and paste or open it with preview on Macs. And so there's your whole contract already taken care of for you. Now to submit it, we'll go back to here. Now to submit a signed contract, you go here. This takes you over to the Atlas. And then it's just fill it out. Everything you need is right here.
Nice. That's going to basically go on their marketplace to try to help
That will
dispo
go
for
on
you.
there. Yep, and that's how you get it into the marketplace.
And do they have a fee structure that's built in, or is it free currently?
No, it's free.
Wow.
It's free for the buyers, free for the sellers. They just want to get people together. And so the reasoning behind that for them is then they've got the power of knowing all those people. So being the guys that are bringing the friendships together, they're also gaining all that wealth of information with the the buyers and the sellers, and then they can send out things to each of them. So it's free, and they want to
That's very
incentivize people
awesome.
to do it. I think it's insane, and the feed's pretty good right now. I mean, I think they've got about 1,000 properties or 68 here in that area, but yeah, tons of properties. And if you're a buyer, like go in and decide whatever it is that you want to do. Like I would do under 5% and see what's out there. Interest rate, I'd be under 5. Any. So now this would be one that I would call on. 38,000. Monthly, it's a nice low monthly payment. I'd have to see what the rents are though for this to make sense. But 5.7 is too high. I mean, again, these are people trying to sell something. And I want you guys to look at this too, just to see like, okay, I want to sell something to, I mean, I want to get something under contract, but you got to see what the people are charging and which ones are moving, which ones aren't moving. But go in here and get an example of things and what they cost. So you can find these deals and make them way better than what we've been doing. The fact that we're saying 70% is, I think, ridiculous on cash deals. I think it needs to be 50%. Atlas does a really good job at anything they offer is like if you go, well, this one's not going to let me, but if you go to let me find a seller finance possibility. That it's offering 5% instead of 10% or 20% for, I mean, not 20%, but people are saying 12% as a down payment. I want to be at 5%. I want to get these to be head turners. So people really want to buy these things. And so a great way to do it is go into the Atlas and just see what the prices are and see which ones you're interested in. So act like a buyer. And then see what's turning your head and what's making it exciting for you to look at them and maybe buy them. So I'll show you here real quick. If it ever does it. It's the only thing that they've got a little bit of an issue is it's a little bit slow. So it's like do that and go grab a coffee and then come back. So let's say, a seller finance, here we go. So the beauty is the offer that it gives for seller finance is really right on track. They're not over offering. Richard likes to say, hey, I'll give you $60,000 more. Yeah, that $60,000 more doesn't really matter in the long term if you get a 10-year loan. or a 10-year balloon, but let's start at their asking price instead. So this is the offer that Wholesale Atlas will give you. So they're going the asking price and they're going 5%, which is awesome. The only thing you have to figure out is if the rent's $3,500, I want to take 25% of that. And again, this one's probably not going to be a deal, but I'm just showing you for an example. So I would put in 25% of the rents. In this case is $875 because the rents are $3,525. And then that's when you can get your cash on cash. But if you can get this at $875, I mean, it would be a deal, but nobody's going to do that at $875. I think it would cash flow. It should cash flow massively. I don't know why that's not doing it. But that's my whole point is you want to go with their ideas, even their cash is, I think their cash is 60%. Cash offers automatically calculated for 60. Bring that down to 50%. And those are deals that people are going to be interested in buying because they're insane deals. Okay, so your credibility.
Yeah, so I agree with you that I think authenticity is very important, but I've also worked with a lot of top performers in sales, and one of the characteristics that a lot of them identify with is this aspect of really portraying your future self or who you want to be, and the reality will eventually catch up to that. I think there's a knowledge level and skill set that's kind of required to do that, to pull it off successfully. Um, and you can certainly get lost in the weeds of losing yourself in a web of lies if you go crazy with it. But
Yeah.
it's something that will differentiate yourself, and a lot of very successful people do it. I think Richard has done that in the past, and he's starting to do that now, and he's now becoming that person that he was portraying himself to be. So that's like a good example of someone that's done that. Um, so I would say like my opinion, I think it's okay to edge on the side of being an actual investor, having success in this industry, because it's something that you're going to do regardless anyway, and you're going to learn from your mistakes. You're going to, like I've been in this space now for about 90 days, but I don't get shut down at all by realtors. They think I'm a real investor. I've got some business acumen that I've had before this, which has helped, but um, in my head, like I think I've been in this space for like 10 years. So, but maybe I'm delusional as well.
No, and I think the fake it till you make it is always a great way to go because your brain, it's like manifesting where you're manifesting your destiny on that. My point is if you really don't know what you're talking about, don't act like you do because you'll get caught and I can sniff you out from a mile away and you lose all credibility. And so that's why I'm saying don't be afraid to, at this point, at the beginning, most of these guys are beginners, is saying, hey, bear with me. I'm new at this. I think people are way more gentle with you. Whereas if you come in spouting off stuff that isn't really the way you should be talking, they're going to call you out. Makes sense?
Yeah.
And I think you have a background that helps you.
Yeah.
I've got a confidence that helps me from the standpoint of I'm confident enough to say I have no idea what I'm talking about. It's often called playing dumb. It's great in most negotiations. You just play dumb and they'll hand you everything. So yeah, I totally agree. I think and that's more along the terms of manifesting things. I think it's really important to believe that you deserve the things that you want for sure. So speak them into existence.
Awesome. All right, man. Well,
good
to chat with you again on the holiday.
I appreciate it. No, I always appreciate it. Anything you guys can bring. All right, bro. Neeson, you're back. What's up?
Yeah, Trent, how's it going, man?
Good. What's up?
So, the property is six units. It's a building of 6 units in Laredo.
Oh, the one in Texas?
Five,
Let's see.
yeah,
Okay, and we already have it in our
yeah. I sent it, yeah, through the form you sent me.
okay.
The address is 2800 Bayer Street.
Okay, and what's your question on this one? We were gonna call?
Yeah, we were gonna call them and offer them a hybrid deal, since my partner that I had already offered them seller finance, which obviously you cannot do it because they have a note on it. But I
Right.
guess he didn't check, and also it falls on me too. I didn't check as well. But she told us that nothing happened with that. She told us that they had a note. If not, they would lovely do that. And she said if we can offer cash, or if we can do some other thing.
What
Um,
were the numbers again? What were the address numbers? Not the whole address, just the numbers.
Bayard Street,
Bayer?
28. Yeah, 2800 Bayard,
Got it. Yep.
Bayard.
Looking at it now.
Rents brings in 5,500.
Okay,
They want
we've
one.
got it.
They want 535, and they have about, I think, around 45 to 50% equity. But they want to get rid of it. It's an inherited property. They have 6 more they want to get rid of.
Okay. Let's see. So asking was 535. Loan is at
Now, before we get into that, I'll tell you what she tells me, and let me know if I should wait. Okay.
okay.
She had told me that they are wanting to close all all of their debt. Um, she's saying they're working with a seller, with a buyer right now that might buy in cash one of their big properties, and when it's closed, they're gonna pay all of the mortgages, and then everything will be free and clear. They just need one thing to close within cash. So I don't know if I should wait and let him do that and then go back and offer seller finance or cash, or just if they would like a hybrid deal like that, just to go with that.
Okay, I'm not finding it. Let me see. It's BAYER?
B as in boy, Ayard.
Oh, Barid. Okay, we had it spelled wrong on our side. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember this one. Okay. And so this one is free and clear, or no?
This one is not free and clear. All of their properties are not free and clear. Their father passed away, unfortunately, and
Yeah. So I think
and
what
it
it
left them
is,
with
yeah,
all of that.
let's get the whole picture of everything, and yeah, I'd be happy to call on this because I really want to understand what they're needing because they just want to sell it all.
Hey,
Usually, there's a big discount in that situation.
one second.
You're on mute, buddy.
Sorry about that. So what did you say?
Yeah, let's hang tight for now, and then it's a situation where we got to find out more information and see really what their needs are. It looks like if they get their one person to buy everything, then you could sell or finance everything else. That's what I would wait for.
Yeah. That's what the real estate told me, that they're waiting for, that they have a buyer in the pipeline for that. They would
Perfect.
buy like one property for cash, and then they'll be able to clear all their debt, because their
Good.
father
And
unfortunately
then
left them with
they'd
all
be
this debt.
thrilled. I'm sure that the heirs would be thrilled to have a monthly check for 10 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll just wait on that, and I guess I'll follow up with her in a month or two and see what's up.
Yep, that works. Perfect.
All right, my man. Thank you. And I will tomorrow, hopefully, I will send you a couple more multifamilies um that I already made progress with. I already talked to. But
Okay,
maybe we
great.
can close it. Maybe we can close on it together.
I love it. I'd love to help you guys out. No problem.
All right, my man. Thank you.
Okay, later. All right. Let's see who else is here. Oh, Tom's back. Hey, Tom. What's going on with you? What are you buying? You're gonna buy them? Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna wait until they get them all paid off, and then we're gonna come in with a seller finance deal. You want to do that? You want to do cash for all of them?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know you're such a baller. Well,
Yeah.
let's do it. Hey, Neem. Yeah, well, you got your buyer here.
Okay.
Let's hook you guys up. Hold on. That's great.
Yeah, she's just looking for proof of funds.
Okay.
That's the only obstacle I have.
Okay.
So
And
if you can send me proof of funds.
yeah. Hold on. I'm bringing them
Hey.
up. Hey, Tom the boss wants your properties. He's got cash.
Really? Okay.
You guys hook up offline and get it done.
I've been dealing with
Okay.
this lady now for a month.
So
Really?
he's got
Okay.
And
Okay. Good. Yeah. Look.
we're just about to sign a contract. She's waiting for the family members. There's one family member living there with the mother, and
Oh, wait a minute.
the other.
Let me just ask you real quick. So you found these properties before Nemus did?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So you guys got to work that out. I don't know who got there first or who's got first touch.
Which address are you on the contract with?
The whole package.
The whole package for how much? They have like 5 million there. For the whole thing cash?
Well, in
Wow.
cash, not 5 million, a lot less.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys talk offline. Figure it out. Yeah. No,
okay,
it sounds like
let's talk it offline. Because I looked at she sent me the properties. They have like 2 properties for like 2 million each, and then 2 more properties for I don't know, like 535. So that's why I was going for this one. And so I don't know.
She has 6 properties. She has 6 properties altogether. 5 of them are with this with the family, and one of them is not with the family. The one that's not with the family is 950,000 cash.
Wow. Okay. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going after all of the properties, even with the family, or the one without the family?
Everything, all 6.
How long you been talking to him, Tom?
Okay.
Oh, over a month.
Oh, and Nemitz, when did you talk to him?
I have my email here. Let me see. Let me get into the email here. 1-800. She sent me her everything on May 2nd.
Okay. So you guys are both you're both going after the same property. So come together and figure out a way to do it. I'm not going to referee it. I mean, it sounds like Tom's got a pretty good handle on it. I think whoever gets contract first and can bring it is going to be the winner.
I just put it in the chat. Our conversations that we had a couple of days ago. We're wrapping things up.
Yeah. Good job, bro. Good job.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot. It was at least 30 emails back and forth. Because the family is not in Texas. The family is somewhere else.
Right.
And at least 5 phone calls with Cindy herself. A very beautiful woman. Very, very, very nice woman.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So Trent, do you got proof of funds you can send me?
Yeah, am I JVing on this?
I guess so. Why not?
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
If
All
you
right,
can,
man. You have a good luck, bro. Good job.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
They need proof
Thank
of
you.
funds for how many million though? They want 5 million?
No, 2.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can give them proof of funds. It's again with these kind of things, it's not like you're going to drain your bank account. We're going to get a loan for it, even though it is cash. We're going to get a loan. So, yeah, we can send them at least $500,000.
All right.
I think they'll be fine with that. They just want some credibility.
Yeah. Okay. If you could send me that, and I'll email her that, and tell her the rest will be on a loan, and I'm sure we're good to go.
Okay, perfect. Marilyn, can you send
Tom
the? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just looking for it.
we got everything. We got the rent rolls, 12s, all that jazz.
So in your DMs and in the chat is the student help form. So send it through there so I can stay organized on my side, so I know what's going, and that will be the JV will be there and everything.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll work on finding a buyer too. That's the best. Good.
Yeah.
Way to go, buddy. That's awesome.
Yeah. Like I said, me and Baz, we're hitting the phones, we're hitting the emails, we're doing a lot of stuff. I haven't JV'd with anybody. Obviously, I've reached out to other people, but if you could come up with the
I'll help you out for sure.
If you can help me out right now, I'll just email it to her and tell her, we're good to go.
Yep, we'll send it over to you. So just fill out that form for me, and that way it gets the ball rolling.
You got it,
buddy. Good stuff.
No, thank you.
All righty, bud. Take it easy.
Take care.
Later. Okay, so guys, that happens sometimes. I'm not sure who. I mean, Tom looks like he's got a pretty good handle on it, and he's close to the contract. I am not the referee on these things, but that sometimes happens. There's a lot of stuff out there. Okay, well, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to go hang out with my family and enjoy this amazing Memorial Day. I hope you guys do the same thing. Please feel free to DM me anytime. My DMs, I check every single day, several times a day. I really want to help you guys out with whatever I can ever do. Wait, what are we saying? For the sake of transparency, that was not the same cigar Tom was smoking this morning. That's awesome. You guys crack me up. The stuff you guys see is hilarious. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you guys being here. It's always, it makes me feel good when you guys stand up for me, and I appreciate that tons. I didn't realize Richard was still having issues. That's too bad. I'm over it. I only when people ask me what happened, I'll let them know. But the bottom line is he's got his business. He's got his thing. I'm just here to help. That's all I really want to do. So thank you guys so much. Have a great Memorial Day. Take a second out to think about how lucky we are to live in America and have armed forces that take care of us, and they do it quietly and behind the scenes. And we're pretty blessed to live in this country. I mean, it's pretty amazing. All right, you guys, have a great day. Enjoy your families, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll get on at 8 a.m. I'm going to try to go as early as possible. When I come into my office, I'll probably just start going live. I know there's some people in Australia that would appreciate it, so I'll try to get them into this as well. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. See ya.